Hello, friends, and welcome to another episode of the Ambassador of Southern Rock YouTube channel. I'm your host, Michael Buffalo Smith. Want to ask you to please visit www.kudzumag.com for the Kudzu magazine and listen to our, if you would, our weekly podcast. There's four of us that do a podcast and we record it and post it all over social media. And usually have some pretty good discussions about rock and roll and stuff like that. As far as this channel, I would appreciate it if you would hit the subscribe button, and that way you can be notified of any new programs. And also, it will help us out to see, how many people are actually listening to this. If there are any people listening to this, no, I'm sure there are. We've done pretty well so far, and I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And welcome back to the program again, my friend from North Carolina. This is Dwayne Fields, better known as Rebel with a Y. Why? Because we like him. Sort of like Mickey Mouse or not, maybe. Today, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about Southern rock guitar players. Wow. Where do I start? I don't start. We're going to make him start. But we're going to list I'm sure his five are probably my five. So like we did with the vocalist, I'm going to try and have some different from what he has. But if they overlap, so be it, right? That's all right.
It happens.
Yeah, it happens.
There can only be so much of a top five.
That's right. That's true. You know, um, so what's your first one there, Rebel? Your first number five or whatever you want to call
My first number five out of the gate
it.
would be a gentleman that I saw sometime back at a festival here locally, and he was
Drunk?
well, probably. No,
Sorry.
I don't think he was because I think he had changed in one kind of a cane for another. He changed in his cocaine for a walking cane.
Oh,
And after the show,
oh,
uh,
Dave.
huh?
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I got a chance to meet him, and you had told me on the phone earlier that if I got an opportunity to see him, to say that, uh, tell him
Oh,
that
I
you
was right. I said David.
hello. And I did. I was at a meet and greet, and I said, "Hello, I'm friends with Michael Buffalo Smith." And he said, "If I got a chance to run into you tonight and tell you hello." And he grabbed my hand. He was just sitting there like he was bored out of his mind.
Yeah.
And he took my hand, he shook it. He said, "Michael Buffalo is a golden individual.
Golden.
You tell him I said howdy." And we sat there and talked for a few minutes. And I'm talking about Dave Lubick from
Yeah.
Molly.
Yeah.
Oh Lord, what a and you told me how he sounded, and you nailed it.
Dave Lubeck and Muddy Hatches was what? Yes, yes. Michael. I'm just so happy to see you. I miss him terribly. It was great when he was in the Southern Rock All Stars. I got to see him a lot, and hang out. And it was always it always blew my mind to watch him play guitar. The first time I'd ever seen him was way back in 1980 with a Hatchet, and it was ripping it up then, and it was ripping it up till all the way up till right before he passed away. But it was great.
Well, I saw him in 1978 when they first released their first album,
Yeah,
along with Nantucket, at a local place here,
yeah,
Hugo, North Carolina. And years later, I got to become friends with Tommy Red from the band,
Another great guitar
Bucket.
player.
And
Great guitar player.
years later, I met him at a meet and greet, and I was telling him that, hey, you're the first band I ever saw live, and now you're the last band. He said, when was that? I said, it was at the Double Barrel. I didn't say Double Barrel. I said, it was at Hugo in 1978. He said, the Double Barrel Jam. That's whenever Klubik had that damn big bus with that man with the axe on the side of it. And we had to drive all the way through the woods to get to the show. And he was so mad because all the trees were. I'm like, damn, dude.
Yeah.
You remember more about it than I do.
Wow.
But
Yeah.
I have been fortunate to become friends with Tommy Red here in the last 12 years.
Yeah.
He's a golden individual also.
He is. He's great. I mean, he's a great guy. He's one of the great guitar players. Not everybody can play with a spoon, but he can.
Or a beer bottle.
Or a beer bottle, or whatever happens to be close by. Yeah. Yeah. I used to go see Nantucket years ago when they were still calling it Nantucket Sleigh Ride and the Midnight Sun in Spartanburg. And man, what
We
a
should
great
get
group.
together. We should get together and do a Zoom with all three of us one night.
Yeah, that'd be cool. We ought to. Um, well, my first one is a tie. We love to do ties on this program. It's a tie between. Oh, it's a three-way tie. Three guys.
Three-way. Ooh,
Three.
Naja Troy.
Yeah, Menage a Troy. There was a three-way tie between three guys that are in or were in the Outlaws: Pete Thomason, Billy Jones, and Freddie Salem. All three wonderful guitar players,
Yes.
great guitar players. Um, I can't, and three different styles, kind of a three different style thing, um, but just incredible, incredible guys. I don't know what else to say other than listen to any Outlaws album uh, from back in the day. Oh gosh, the live one that Freddie Salem was on. I can't remember the name of it now. I want to say "Bring It Back Alive," but I can't remember. Anyway, it's wonderful. And then recently they put out an Outlaws live from Rockplatz in Germany that Freddie Salem and Huey are playing, and Billy, and it's really good. It's really good. You can get that. It's a DVD and CD set uh, live at Rockplatz from the Outlaws. So anyway, that's my first entry. I will say is the Outlaws guitar players. So you go on with your next one.
Well, my next one, I'm kind of replacing it with somebody that I already had in there.
Oh,
After thinking about it for a little bit, this dude, and I call him a dude because he's a dude.
dude.
Um, uh, he's been around for 50 freaking years.
Yeah, me too.
Well, so have I. Mr. Billy Gibbons,
Who?
the guy with the beard.
Oh, Billy.
The beard is a little bit more impressive than mine.
I thought you were the guy with the beard. Uh, oh, you're talking about the Reverend. Okay, I got you.
Reverend Billy Gibbons.
Yeah.
Oh, 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 oh. I told a friend of mine one time, said that's what blues players do whenever they can't remember the lyrics. They just go, oh, 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 oh.
That's right.
But yeah, Billy Gibbons, I don't know. It's just from the very beginning, from the early days, from Tejas on up through Afterburner and DeGuayo,
Lemonator.
his blues, country, southern voice has just been an inspiration to me.
Yeah,
And
I agree with that.
with these videos, you may understand. Well, sometimes I've talked like this, you know. I don't.
uh, yeah,
But
yeah.
I watched a video sometime back on YouTube where he went out on the street and pretended to be a street vendor player, and nobody really knew who he was, you know, and they were throwing money in the little guitar case and
Oh
shit.
yeah, yeah. I love stuff like that. Yeah, Billy's. Yeah, all the way back to my high school days, I was just. I think the first time I saw ZZ Top might be 1974 at Clemson, and it was that tour. They didn't have all those long beards then. They're just regular guys in their cowboy suits, like Porter Wagner suits or
Yeah,
whatever you got,
nudie suit.
nudie suits, and they had all this livestock on stage,
Yeah, I
chickens,
remember that.
chickens and a steer, and there's everything. I was like, they bring in Texas to South Carolina, but yeah, well, I mean, I know now. I was trying to figure out what little notation I was going to say about Billy, and it's this: that most any of the bands where there's only three guys and the guitar player has to carry it all, they tend to be really good guitar players. Same with a lot like Hendrix and Johnny Winter and places like that. So that's the way Billy was. I mean, to carry um, the rhythm and lead and everything, you got to be pretty doggone good, right? So
Damn right.
he's good. Well, my next one is a really, really great guy, the hardest working man in show business since James Brown, out of Asheville, North Carolina, is Warren
One pain.
Haynes. Warren Haynes, from the first time I ever heard him, was when he had just joined the Allman Brothers in the late '80s, and then I heard his solo album, which was great. Uh,
Which one
eh,
was that?
the first album he did, Tales of Ordinary Madness.
Yes, I have that.
I think it was produced by Chuck Leavell,
Yep.
and it's a great one. And then and then came the Mule. Uh, and once I got kicked in the head by the Mule, it was on. It was a love affair from then on. Um, my late wife and I used to go on our dates to see the Mule. That was our special thing. So we did probably 10 or 12 shows, and they got used to seeing us. And what was so cool to me was that Alan Woody, God rest his soul, he was a wonderful guy, but Woody would see me and he'd go, "Hey, Michael, where's Jill?" He's just, all he wanted was to talk to my wife, which, I was like, cool. He wants to talk to my wife. Um, but anyway, uh, uh, I turn into Beefus and Butthead when I was around Woody. Um, but anyway, yeah, the Mule, Warren Haynes, was always so nice to us. And I've seen him in so many situations. The Allman Brothers Government Mule, I've seen him playing with the Dead, with Phil and Friends. I've seen him play reggae. I've seen him play every style you can play, solo stuff. The many times I saw his Christmas jams in Asheville that had everybody on the stage.
He is so versatile.
He's versatile. And yeah, Warren Haynes.
Love me some Warren Haynes.
I love Warren Haynes. And that being said, you go on to your next one.
Well, jump back on Warren Haynes.
Jump back, jump
There's a
back.
radio station, online radio station that I listen to. Um, it's called deepjams.net. A friend of mine, Rich Graness, he runs it, and they have like a Warren Haynes Wednesday, Warren Wednesday. It's all day, nothing but Warren Haynes. And on Sunday, they have the House of Haynes, and they play nothing but Warren Haynes from like I think 6 o'clock in the morning till like noon. But check it out. It's available on uh, TuneIn Radio, or you can go to deepjams.net and uh, get your fill of Warren Haynes. Warren Haynes is freaking awesome. That's where we at number three. I think we're at number three, right? Yeah. Number three is my number three is the man with the golden thumb, and I think you know who I'm talking about.
Wes Montgomery.
No. He's from right there in your hometown, Mr. Toy Caldwell.
Yeah, I knew that's what you said.
Never played with a pick, always played with that thumb. And that was just so, I never realized it whenever, back in the day when I was just buying his 8 tracks and his 45s and the LPs. I never realized it until I got the internet and realized he was playing all that with his thumb.
Yeah.
That just made him that much. I mean, he was always awesome to me, but just watching him play with nothing but that thumb,
Yeah.
that was just so awesome, and a unique guitar picker.
Well, his Toy's dad played with his thumb, so he brought up Toy and Tommy. Tommy played bass with his thumb, and if you ever, I had seen Toy's thumb up close to the one that he picked with, and it's just like a piece of plastic. I mean, there's so many calluses on it. It's just like his thumb looked like a piece of plastic or rubber or something. I mean, it was crazy. But he, yeah. Well, I mean, you just basically took one of my top ones right there. So that's all right. I'll substitute something else when I get down to that point.
I told you we'd overlap.
That's right. Well, speaking of overlapping, my third entry is a guy that was a former member of Leonard Skinner by the name of Ed King. Started out in a band called Strawberry Alarm Clock, Incense and Peppermint, and he really didn't like to talk about that too much. But
I wouldn't either.
he had a dry wit and a great sense of humor, and I thoroughly enjoyed our many conversations on the phone, and I thoroughly thanked him over and over again for the opportunity I had at the Winters Brothers Southern Jam that one summer. Ed was going to be there as a special guest. So I just asked him, I just, grew a pair and asked him, I said, would you sit in with me on my set? Because I'm doing an acoustic set. Oh, sure. So I did a set with Ed King playing guitar and smoking a stogie. And I still can't believe that he did it, but he did it. It was because he was so nice. He was such a kind guy. And, if he never wrote anything else besides the riff on Sweet Home Alabama, that was enough. And like he and I talked about, that one lick, that one lick is what made him the biggest part of his money over life.
Mm-hmm.
For a while there, Kentucky Fried Chicken was using that in their.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
It's like,
And
wow.
the movie Sweet Home Alabama.
Yeah, all that. I mean, it's just like, wow. And but
Did
what?
you make it the state song of Alabama?
Yes. And I tell you, I one of the things that I loved about Ed was like Artemis Pyle. They both of them always speak so highly of Ronnie, and Ed would tell these great stories about. You had talked about on another show earlier about singers. You had mentioned something about it, but it's like with Ronnie Van Zant, how he just had the songs in his head, And Ed said he would be playing a guitar, and Ronnie would come over and start singing in his ear,
Yeah.
and just writing the song in his head. And that's how he heard Sweet Home Alabama the first time, was just him
Ed,
singing
Ed,
in
Ed
his ear.
said Ed said he had a dream and he had that guitar lick come in his head,
Yeah,
and he got up and wrote it down, and the next day he was like playing it for Ronnie, and Ronnie said, keep playing it, keep playing it, keep playing it, keep
yeah,
playing it.
yeah. He was
and and,
writing it in his head.
and he wrote Sweet Home Alabama in his head, standing there next to Ed, rolling that tune over and over again on the guitar.
Yep. All right.
Stuff
Well, go.
stuff like that don't happen now.
No, that's a rare thing. Go ahead with your next one.
My next one is, where are we at? Number two, number two, number two, number two. Oh,
Steal another one of mine. Go ahead.
probably will. um, he's not only one of my favorite singers, he's one of my favorite guitarists.
Oh God, I hate you.
Oh, he's from, I guess, Macon, Georgia.
No,
No, where's he from?
Sarasota, Florida.
Okay, Mr. Dickie Betts.
Yeah.
Well, I think they found him in Macon, but yeah.
Well, they moved to. Yeah, that's never mind. I wrote a book about it, but I don't even go there. they, they started in Florida and then moved to Macon when Capricorn started.
Yeah, Dickie Betts.
Yeah, him too.
That that country voice he had, and the guitar playing. Um, you sent me a thing the other day about the isolated tracks
Yeah, yeah,
of Blue Sky.
right.
Man, that was so awesome.
Yeah, it is.
I had never heard that before. And
I hadn't either.
there was so much I learned from that song after hearing it for what, 40 some odd years. There was so much I learned from that song. Not that I played the guitar, but Lord, there was just so much I learned from that song. I didn't know, I didn't realize who was playing what at the
Oh yeah,
time.
of course. Yeah, yeah.
I thought Dickie did more lead on it than he did, but the rhythm that he did was just so freaking awesome. And then when
Yeah.
Dickie went to the lead, oh man, which I'm not going to break into it, but that leads into my next one.
Yeah, of course it does. Of course it does. Well,
you hate me, I know.
well, let me just say this. That my number two was Toy Caldwell, and you already talked about that. And my number one was Dickie Betts. And actually, Dickie Betts tied with Dwayne Allman for number one, which is another one of yours. And so Dickie and Dwayne. But I I'll talk about my number one. I'm gonna substitute a number two. Well, I had Billy Gibbon. Okay, I already talked about that. I'm gonna
There's
go
only so much you can do, dude,
I'm
in
gonna
top
go
five.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and talk about a current member of the Marshall Tucker band by the name of Chris Hicks.
Love me some Chris Hicks.
He's a great singer, songwriter, guitar player. He's played with the Outlaws. He's
He
played with Marshall Tucker. He's played his own band.
he was born in the wrong decade.
I know. Yeah.
He
And
should have been born back in the 70s. Or should have not born back in the 70s, but he should have emerged.
yeah, he'd been born in the 70s. Yeah, exactly. I agree with that. I agree with that. Um, so Hicks, for anybody listening that's not familiar, I'm sure you are familiar with it. He's been on several of the Tucker albums, Beyond the Horizon, The Next Adventure, which was a good album that I played on. Yes.
Beyond the Horizon, there's a song on there called The Rain, and I have
Oh
that
yeah.
song listed in my will to be played at my funeral. That's
Oh.
not that I'm going to demise anytime soon, but
Don't be demising on me.
no,
You know what I'm
but
saying? Don't be demising on me.
that
Man.
song, oh, the lyric, he sings it, he nails it.
Yep. And he did a solo album called Dog Eat Dog.
Dog eat dog, I got that.
Um, and a song on there that was written by Paul Hornsby called Georgia Moon.
Georgia Moon.
It's one of the
I
most
was going to
beautiful things
mispronounce
ever.
it,
Mm.
Memphis Moon, but yeah, you're right, Georgia Moon.
Yeah, yeah, Georgia Moon, won't you keep on shining? Paul said that when he heard Chris sing it the first time, he thought, well, I didn't realize when I was writing it, but that was written for him, for his voice. He's a great singer, but we're not talking about singers right now. We're talking about guitar. Anybody that's ever seen Hicks just rip it up on stage. I've seen him hold his own many times down at Charlie Daniels Angelus thing. He'd be on the stage. It would be on the stage with Dan Toller, Tom McCrane, all these people, and anything you can do, I can do better. That kind of thing,
Yeah.
just so good. Hicks, um,
When I
he,
when I first met him, it was down in Kenansville, North Carolina, and uh, we met backstage. And I had your book, and I was getting everybody to sign it. And I showed him his section in the book. He says he interviewed me. I'm like, well, apparently. He says, do I want to read it? I said, I don't know. I said, if you want to just autograph it, that's fine. You can read it if you want to. He never read it because he said he didn't remember it.
of course not. That sounds like him, man. It really does. Uh, I'm going to say this. I'm going to say that and then I'm going to let you do your last one because it probably ties in. I don't know, but I do have to say that my overall number one is going to be Dickie Betts and Dwayne Allman. Both, because the Allman Brothers is my favorite band of all time.
Yeah.
And as much as I respect and love Dwayne Allman, and I do, I have equal appreciation for Betts and in the history, like I say, having written a book about them, I really took a deep dive into a lot of the music, and went back and listened to everything, bootlegs, everything. And after Dwayne died in that horrible motorcycle wreck, Betts stepped up to the plate and knocked it out of the park. He got up there and he got even better on guitar. He taught himself to play slide after that because Dwayne wasn't there to play it anymore. So he hunkered down and learned to play slide. And anybody, you know, I'm a guitar player kind of, and I try to play slide, but I can't do it. I can't do it. But he got really, really good, and just by the time they brought Chuck Leavell in on keyboards, it was just back to it was magic again. It was a different kind of magic, because Dwayne was Dwayne, but then with Dickie and Chuck, they had so many musical moments that I mean, I could wax poetic for hours. I was just having a discussion with somebody yesterday about the years. It wasn't too long, but for a while, Jack Pearson was playing lead with the Allman Brothers, and
I saw them.
yeah, oh, really? Well, Jackie is just freaking awesome guitar player too. You know.
I saw them with Jack, and I saw them with Jimmy Herring.
Oh, I did too. Yeah, Herring did a great job. He was
Yes,
such
he
a
did.
what a sweet guy
I
Jimmy
I,
is.
I missed out seeing them with Warren Haynes and Alan Woody.
Oh, I did
Because
that about 7 of those shows. That's I always said, and people watching this will just tell me I'm probably going to hell for saying this, but the Woody, Dickie Betts, and Warren lineup was my favorite of all time of the Almonds.
well, I saw them 3 years in a row. I saw them with Jack, I saw them with Jimmy, and then I saw them with Derek.
Dirt Trucks, yeah, he's
The,
great.
the last time I saw him was with Derek Trucks, and Derek Trucks and Dickie. I don't think Warren was with them then. I think it was.
No, right,
I
yes,
think it was the year that they let Dickie go.
right.
So
2000.
yeah, we 1999, I think it was.
Well, he was with them in 2000,
Yeah, because
early 2000.
we had like third row seats just left of center. We could see Greg sweat.
And
and
sweat, he
Dickie
did.
and Dickie was right there next to him, and Derek was right next to him. I mean, it was a great show.
Yeah, I've enjoyed all the lineups. I mean, golly, I was reminiscing with somebody the other day about, oh gosh, some of the guys in the Silver Travis band. We went to Asheville or Charlotte or something in 1982 and saw the Dixie Dregs open for the Almonds. And at that time, the Almonds had Danny Toller
Mhm.
and Bonnie Bramlett was singing with them, the only ever Almond sister. So Bonnie Bramlett was
Yeah,
singing Danny Toller and had Rook Goldfleece on bass.
yeah.
First interview I ever did for Grits when we were calling it Hot Grits was Rook David Goldfleece, Rook Goldfleece. Second one was Charlie Daniels. For those of you keeping score at home, that started a string of like something like 850 interviews that I've done. I don't know, man. Fun though. Okay. So oh wait. Uh did you do your number one?
Well, I think you did it.
Oh,
It's,
okay.
it's Dwayne Allman.
Oh, Dwayne. Yeah,
Dwayne
him.
Allman. I mean, my God, what else can you say? He is the godfather of Southern rock guitar.
Yeah.
Uh, Especially, like you said, you sent me that video of the isolated track of him doing
Yeah.
Blue Sky. Oh God, I listened to that like 12 times back to back.
Well, that's great.
The
I said
man, I just can't put it into words what the man meant to me. And
yeah.
not only with that, but with Layla and all the other stuff he did with Eric Clapton. At 27 years old, he did all that. Oh hell, yes, you showed me that. Yes,
Yeah, I got this. This is a canvas and they printed it on a canvas for me. It looks like a painting. It's so beautiful. And kind of like I showed that to the guys, Billy Eli and them on the podcast, and one of them said, "Where'd you get that picture of Jesus?"
yeah. I was going to say it doesn't really look like Dwayne Allman, but it does.
It's a photograph. It's a photograph that I ran through a filter to make it look like a painting. Pretty cool. The Yeah, exactly. What else can we say about it? Nothing. Guitar players. There's so many great ones, but yeah, he was one of a kind for sure. Well, I guess rather than just sit here and spin my wheels, I'm going to go ahead and say bye and let um,
Remember Dwayne Allman.
Yeah, and remember the Alamo. There was, I don't know. Why did I say that? I don't know. It's just, just remember the Alamo is where they kept Pee Wee Herman's bicycle. Cool. Oh, wait, no. That's
That's
a
Beavis.
conversation between Beavis and Butthead and Pee Wee Herman. That'd be weird. Okay. Okay, folks. Thanks for listening, and please subscribe to the channel. I promise we will always sidetrack left, right, everywhere. We'll always come back to the focus of the subject at some point. Maybe.
You want to say hey?
Hey, there's somebody. Hey. Hey. And we're waving.
Got home from work.
Yeah, she got. Well, somebody's got to.
Right?
All right. Well, oh, that hurt me when she did that. I vicariously felt your pain. Say bye, Rebel.
Goodbye, Rebel.
Making it back to Macon. Give me some grits, gravy, and bacon. Just a little something to tide me over. Mama Louise and the H&H Open. She got fried chicken and pinto beans, hot cornbread, sweet iced tea. Everything that a body needs. That's why I'm making it back to Macon. Give me some grits, gravy, and bacon. Just a little something to hold me over till Mama Louise and the H&H Open.